Hey, it's Dr. Jarrett. How are you guys out there today? Just tuning in for my usual Tuesday live stream with you guys. Um, I know last week I was up at Rochester Endovascular. The reception was pretty bad, so I do apologize if you guys didn't quite get the message about diabetes. But I'll be sure to get diabetes back on task for you guys in an upcoming episode, just to make sure you get all the information you need about your children and diabetes. We had a little bit of technical difficulties up there, but it actually ended up being okay. There was a wonderful facility up there that I was traveling. They're doing lots of wonderful things for the community. It's a great service for the community. They're doing really saving a lot of people's legs. I mean, that's something that you just don't see happen in a lot of places. So kudos to Dr. Wilson at Rochester Endovascular. And thank you for hosting me last week, letting me see your facility as we got a little business done. So again, this is Dr. Jarrett. I'm here on my 2 Cents Tuesdays, which is every Tuesday, 1 o'clock Eastern Time in the afternoon. So I feel like I'm still getting adjusted from the time change. It's no longer, um, it's now, I don't know, whatever. However we change the time, I'm still kind of reeling from it. My body gets tired too early in the afternoon now. But thank you guys for tuning in today. So, just for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Dr. Jarrett. I'm your board certified pediatrician here to help you get better control over your children through their health, behavior. I'm going to do this through my books, through my live streams, through lots of other things that I have forthcoming. All I want you to do is actually go to the link that should be on the post. I actually have a free gift for you guys today. It is an audio on how to keep your kids from driving you crazy during their downtime. I know the holidays are coming up soon. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. The kids are going to be there doing their thing and trying to figure out what the heck they're going to want to do over the time. So this will give you free tips that you guys can get better control over your kids and keep them busy during their downtime. So make sure you check out that link. I'll leave the link in the comment section when we're done as well, just so to make sure you have it. But it's a great audio to give you some tips. It'll help keep your kids busy and give you some sanity over the holidays. Thanks, Mariana, for joining in today. I appreciate it. So, 2 Cents Tuesdays. As we will get started today, I will say that transitions can be a difficult thing for lots of families as they're going through the healthcare system. One transition in particular will really kind of goes as kids come of age and they actually grow up and get to their regular scheduled adulthood, so to speak. So it can be traumatic because kids sometimes see their pediatrician for the first 18, 20, maybe even 25 years of their life. And so that is their healthcare and that's their physician that they know, let alone their parents who have gone with them trying to help them through these times. So I have to say that transition in and of itself can be one of these things, but a transition can happen if you have to move out of town and you move to a new location. You have to go through this whole process all over again, trying to find that right pediatrician for your child. And it can be stressful at times because especially if you're going somewhere new, you just don't know where to go. If you're transitioning from the pediatric world to the adult world, again, you may not know where to go. So it's one of those things that you have to really feel out as you're going along and checking out things. So I'll give you a few tips today to really make sure you understand how we can get your child transitioned into another type of healthcare and get that done pretty seamlessly by following these few tips. So first of all, first and foremost, really understand your child's medical history. over 18, 20, 25 years, there's a lot of medical history there. If there is a chronic problem or a number of chronic problems or maybe even a genetic problem, these are the things that you may be the expert bringing to your new doctor what the information you know about it, because a lot of pediatric illnesses, let's take cystic fibrosis for instance. Cystic fibrosis not many years ago was considered just a pediatric illness. The children and young adults would die in their early 20s and they would never really make it to adult health care. Now, cystic fibrosis patients live well into their 40s and beyond and live great and healthy lives because science has advanced, healthcare has advanced, they've been able to take better care of themselves. A lot of things have helped. So you may be the expert coming to your new pediatrician's office. So make sure you know that history. Going along with that history, you're going to want to make sure that you get the child's health record with you. So many of the health records now are electronic, so you're going to have to figure a way how to get a copy of that. You may be able to log on through a portal, you may be able to do other things, but you may be able to get yourself into that electronic record so that your new physician will be able to get that information and read up on some of the notes, the diagnoses, the medication list, all the things that you should know, but life can get complicated sometimes. So number one, make sure that you have that health record. Make sure you know at least the basics of the health record. Number two, it's okay to shop around. So when you're looking for a new physician, it's perfectly normal to go shop around. Many doctors' offices will actually set up a brief appointment so that you can meet the physician. You can talk about some of your health goals or your child's health goals or your young adult's health goals and their office philosophy, so you can get accustomed to the various policies, whether they're late policies or cell phone policies or maybe email policies for that matter. But it's a chance for you to get to know each other. And just because you go see one doesn't mean that you have to see that one. In Pennsylvania and a number of states actually pay for these transition visits through Medicaid because they want to make sure people are getting that right match there. So make sure that you're taking a look at that. You may get a recommendation from your current pediatrician. You may get a recommendation from a friend. You may get a recommendation from another of other people. But that's one of those things that you'll be able to go forward and see, and it'll actually help you out as time goes on. Hey, Dr. Centrell, thanks for tuning in today. Thank you, Mariana, for tuning in. Again, we are talking about healthcare transitions today, and this actually was brought up by one of my followers, Joanne. Joanne, thank you for this topic. Transition is a very important thing, especially as your children get older and you're trying to look for an adult healthcare provider for them, particularly if they're children with special needs. So thank you for bringing up an important topic for me to discuss with you guys today, Joanne. So number one was make sure you have the health care records. Number two, we were talking about you may be able to actually meet the physician before you get there. That way you can just see if there's anything you need to work out ahead of time. Unfortunately, it's part chemistry, it's part science, but you really have to have that right relationship with your new physician, and that's going to be one of the big things there. Hey Asher, thanks for tuning in today. Appreciate you tuning in. We're talking about transition in healthcare, and particularly transitioning your child from pediatric healthcare into adult healthcare. So make sure you go and check out that other physician, and you may want to do that 2 or 3 times based on either recommendations from your pediatrician, family or friends, or even your own personal physician. You may want to go get that checked out. So just for those of you who are tuning in now, I am Dr. Jarret. You spell out doctor, J-A, 2 R's, E, 1 T. And I'm here to help you take better care of your children and get better behavior out of your children. I'm going to do this through my books, my live streams, and my programs that are forthcoming to you. today I have a free gift for you. There is a link right in the tab for you guys that you can get a free audio guide, how to keep your kids from driving you crazy during downtime. I'm telling you, you're going to want to get this because the holidays are coming. Your kids are going to be out of school. They're going to be sitting around saying, oh, I'm bored. I don't know what to do. What can I do? And they're going to be driving you nuts. These tips that are on this free audio I'm giving you, my free gift to you, will help get your kids straight, will keep them busy, and help you keep some of your sanity, especially during these hectic holidays. Now, back to transitions. The last part that I want you guys to pay particular attention, especially once you select that physician, is usually you'll start with your primary care physician and making that transition. And most of your primary care physicians, meaning your pediatrician if you go into internal medicine or family medicine, they will work as a team to help get you the right other team members that you need in your healthcare team. I will say that the kids with special healthcare needs, they tend to have a lot of physicians in a very large health team. They may have case managers, they may have social workers, they may have a number of specialists involved in their care. And so you're going to use these primary care physicians as your pivot point to help guide you to the next level of special care. So talking specifically about specialists and the other healthcare team members, pediatric specialists, depending on the specialty, depending on the pediatric specialist, they may see your child into the 20s to 25 range, depending on the illness. Because again, some of these pediatric illnesses, there just are not adult doctors that know enough about these diseases because they've always been considered pediatric illnesses. So you're going to want to have a discussion with your primary care physician and your specialty physicians. Who should I transfer? How should I transfer? And when should I transfer? Now, typically, the guideline for transition can range anywhere between 18 and maybe 22 or up to 25. It really depends on the office and it really depends on your goals. But you're going to want to get those other healthcare members in. And that's where you're going to need the adult specialist, because the pediatric specialist is not going to know all of the adult specialists. Your pediatrician certainly won't know a whole lot of your adult specialists, particularly if you live in a larger community. And your internal medicine doc or your new family doctor, they'll be able to help you figure out who would be the right adult specialist to take over care, to really wrap around that team and get all those team members in there, because it is very complicated. You guys know how difficult it is to get in and out of office. It's paperwork, it's signing in, it's this time, it's checking in, bring that, copay for this. It's a lot of just complex, and oftentimes, I admit, healthcare can be disjointed and it really gives you a difficult time. So make sure that you are having these things all looked at, because transition can be bumpy, but you want to make it as smooth as possible as you go forward. So wrapping everything up, I gave you 3 solid tips today that should help you get along your transition pathway. The first one is know your child's medical history, at least the highlights of it. Your new physician doesn't need a 20-year novel of all the things that your kid did when they first pooped, when they first talked, all that kind of thing. But you are going to need to know the highlights of everything there. You also want to grab your medical records and have some sort of copy, particularly if you're leaving out of town, moving to another part of the country. See if your office will print you out a copy, or at least medication list or problem list or something that'll help you out. Number 2, you're going to want to make sure that you shop around. You're going to want to find that right match. You've grown to have a great relationship with your pediatrician over the years. You're going to want the same thing for your next doctor, whether it's an adult doctor or family doctor that you go to. So make an office visit and just get to meet the person, get to see the office, see if they're going to have the right equipment and facilities for your young adult as you're making the transition. And finally, make sure that you get rest of your team members transition. So the third step is really looking at the specialists or the case managers or the social workers that may be involved. Have everybody kind of help with the transition, because you will need to go from pediatric specialist to adult specialist. And I know it's hard to think of, especially with you guys with younger children, but a lot of you, like Joanne, who actually gave this topic and wanted to hear this topic, it is a difficult thing to get going through. So I appreciate you guys tuning in today. I am Dr. Jarret, spell out Dr. J-A, 2 R's, E, 1 T. You'll find me on social media. I'm here to help you take better care of your kids. I'm going to do this through my books, my live streams, and my other programs I'll have forthcoming to you. All I want you to do is take this free gift that I'm giving you today. It's actually a free audio guide. It'll give you some tips how to keep your kids from driving you crazy during downtime. The holidays are coming up. I wanted to make sure you were equipped to getting your kids taken care of and keeping them out of your hair while so many things are going on during the holiday times. Make family time a little bit smoother. So I'll put the link in the comment section. It's already in the upper tab. Just click that and I'll make sure I get that audio right off to you guys. Until next Tuesday, and you never know when I might pop up in between, I'll see you guys next Tuesday for sure. Every Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Dr. Jarrett's 2 Cents Tuesdays. I'll be back. Hey, Cindy, thanks for tuning in today, and I'll catch you guys next week.